Hello and welcome back to my GTNH playthrough. It is Monday, June 15th, and we're over here by my component assembly lines. As you can see, I finally have my second set of them. In this case, these two on the right here have the UIV component blocks. So finally can craft UEV and UIV circuits, components substantially faster. Not too much to say on them, except for I do basically have the recipe separated for UEV, UIV over here, and then the everything prior to that over here. Eventually, probably over like a weekend or something, when I know I'm not going to play for a while, I'll craft a second set of 43 of these so that I can basically have all four of these running, just, because right now it's kind of wasting potential, so to speak, but I do need to craft more of these to do that. I might do it overnight, but probably not for the next few nights, because there are other things I want to craft in the meantime, and for the moment I'm not crafting that many components to do four of these. But the setup for these pretty straightforward. Honestly, didn't even have to do much for the recipes either. I think there was like one item, or one pattern I should say, among the group that I didn't have already set up from other stuff around the base, so it was a much smoother and faster transition than when I set up the first one initially. And they are wall sharing to share the component blocks, obviously, with proxies to make both these more useful, or both these usable. And that's pretty much it for it. I didn't do much over the weekend besides get these guys crafted. I was doing a bunch of running around, and every once in a while I'd look into the world and see what items were jammed up or not working. And those items that weren't working, we basically came over here today while I was waiting for other stuff to craft and started expanding the extra mass production as opposed to the stuff over here. So the first thing I did this morning, though, was basically, decommission these guys, the old forming press bending machines. I don't know why, but because these were working just fine, and obviously they should work until 2.10 or 3.0, whatever they're doing next, but they just weren't. No matter what I did, there was nothing stuck in the input buses. The output buses were online and everything. They just didn't work anymore. So it was like jamming up the foils, jamming up the plates. Nothing would craft. So the first thing I did was do a set of Circuit 10. These are the Circuit 10 ones for the foils. And then immediately after that, I did a Circuit 1 one for the plates, basically pulling everything out of these machines. Now, it seems like the smaller ones that I have up in the tower are still working, so there's probably something goofy I'm missing here as to why none of these guys were functioning. Like, they weren't power failed, and like I said, nothing was jammed up in any of the input or output buses. But when I moved them over to the new blocks, everything's working just fine. Basically, for these guys, I had actually gone with a closer, more wall-shary version, because you can, like, basically this column right here could be right here. But these things really don't have that much free room for input and output hatches. Most of it is, like, on the side or on the bottom. So what I ultimately decided to do, instead of wall-sharing maintenance and muffler hatches, I just threw those guys in the center, then the input on the right or left, west, whatever, then the output here on the back for both these guys. And yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. These guys over here, next thing that was regularly jamming up for me for whatever reason were the forming press recipes, so I moved them all, threw down the forming presses, threw them all over here. These guys I was able to wall share a little better. They're not fighting for as much space because I don't really have that many forming press recipes, all things considered. There's just these guys. Now soon I'll have to throw down some new proxy and input buffers and all that jazz, but for the moment this will work. I imagine once I need a higher tier of solar or something will be the next time I need to move past this point, but Just basically this one input buffer and this one in proxy input cover all 8 of these with the way these guys wall share, so that was pretty cool. And then the last one for the moment that I knocked or threw over here because it also was constantly, both it was slow and just was causing backlogs, is the Circuit 2 mixers. This is one I've been wanting to do over here for a while. Was originally my plan to do that first over here, and then basically went into the wire cutters. Luckily, these guys haven't given me problems, even though they're technically obsolete now too, or getting there. So I'll have to do those eventually, and technically this guy is too. There's a new mega version of this, which I think I have it craft. No, I keep saying that. I keep not actually crafting it. Why am I not crafting this? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a few items I need to set up patterns for, but no big deal. I'll probably get those crafted relatively soon, but I haven't had any problems here. Basically I crafted this stuff in between waiting for a few other things to craft. There were a few other improvements I made around the base. Again, I keep doing little things in all sorts of the random multi-blocks throughout the main structures. Over in the mass area, one of the things I did was I had last week finally come under here and changed all these guys to input buffers, which makes this a lot faster. And there were, even though I used the circuits and all that jazz, sometimes things would randomly recipe mix, I think, because I would just have some weird issues. But either way, with the buffers, that's gone. And then I did finally throw down a bunch of proxy hatches. I hadn't done it for a little bit because these guys are expensive and I wanted to do other blocks first, but I was waiting on some ABS recipes, so got this one going. Kind of want to craft a couple more of these or move the other one over that's over by the Radox. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I definitely need more of these because this is another bottleneck. Even with these being on laser, it's obviously a lot better, but it can be a lot better than what it is now. Also, if you notice these 5 output hatches, I would still use these, even though I did do this on these multi-blocks just because there's a lot of recipes. However, I did realize for the first time today, or remember, because I think I noticed this back. I don't think this is like a 2.9 thing. But if you go to, say, like output hatches, where is ME? This guy. I forgot you can actually increase the internal storage of these blocks using all this stuff here. So that is something just to keep in mind, especially if you have like recipes jam up from not enough output space, etc. You can do this and not have to spam a bunch of output buses. Again, on certain blocks, I think it's worth it, especially like the other multi-block I finally started using proxies and expanding out because it's a bottleneck, is the fluid extractors. I use a lot of different fluid extractor recipes, so if I only have one of these with multiple output buses, but as I start using these more, I'll probably do that just because there's so many molten recipes and extraction recipes. I don't want it to wait at all on the output bus to clear. Now I don't have UIV energy hatches on these, but I did prep them for UIV. The glass tier is correct, or as high as it's going to need to go, because you only need the highest glass tier for fluid extractors is UEV. You don't have to go higher, but the solenoids you have to keep upgrading. So these are already on UIV for whenever I need to throw down UIV energy hatches going forward. But this is another thing to be nice removed as a bottleneck. I did not set up the last few because I still was waiting on a bunch of stuff to craft and I didn't want to wait on the proxy hatches, but I will set these up sooner or later because at this point they're all ready to go. The only thing I need to do is throw down the controller and basically form them. There's nothing really else going on here. I even have like the wiring and everything done down here. The only thing I would need to do in addition would be throw down the proxy hatches, which you can see I've got 4 already and they're nearly full, so it's, these guys eat up a lot of those. And the last thing I did, what I was waiting on crafting essentially earlier today, was this guy, a third, or second, I should say, nano complex assembly. This one here is specifically to make us pico circuits, and then eventually the more upgraded circuits, I believe it goes quantum and then Planck circuits now, or maybe it did before. I never really paid attention to what the next level of circuits is. Yeah, it should be quantum and then Planck scale circuits, and then, which actually, these are craftable. It's just, it's kind of weird to me because I did not realize there was a difference between UXV and Max. I don't know what the difference is. I thought they were the same tier, or I've been under that impression this whole time, so I don't know, because the Stargate tier, if you look in the quest book, is UXV. So I don't know. Anywho, this guy was a lot faster to set up, I will say, than the first one, obviously, just because now I know what I'm doing. It's also a lot cleaner down here if we look at this guy versus over on this one where I was running cords all over the place. See, this is a whole mess. It's not like terrible or anything, it just could be a lot better. There's not too much of note different on this one versus the first one. There are a few modules here that we don't currently use. For example, I believe it's this guy, which is it's this guy right here, the full board immersion device. This doesn't get used for pico circuits, but it does get used for something later, so I already have it set up. I did try to future-proof this a little bit. I mean, it's not perfect because I'll still need higher component blocks later, but I actually crafted the 20 UIV blocks I would need to eventually craft the quantum circuits for whenever we're ready for this. Now, I can't craft these no matter what till I get Mark V Fusion, because you need this Shirobon, which I believe, if we follow it all the way back, it's not a Mark V Fusion, excuse me, it is a Eternal Coils DTPF one. So we're a little bit away from that. I need to set up more of those guys, but basically same deal on the inside. These two are for in the future. Again, I don't need them quite yet, but there's a foil and a frame that need to be renamed. But same deal as before. That's the actual main base controller. Come in on our P2P. This guy here is the pattern holds the patterns for the 2 recipes. I ran out of time, or else I would have made the other 2 that'll need to go in here eventually. Then we got colored output buses for where they're ultimately crafted and come back into the main network. The wireless is for sending fluids to the various cutting machines, which one of note is we do need the shifted superfluid as like cutting. I saw on the main, or on the wiki for this, they actually included it in the recipes. I'm currently not. I was just going to do it via an input bus, but if it becomes a problem, I might come back and edit these recipes to include the water needed for cutting, the lubricant needed for cutting, and the superfluid or shifted superfluid. But for the moment, I don't have them in there, and I think it'll be fine. It might not be. This guy's hooked up to wireless. I got a monster repeller, but basically recipe comes in here. Items are sorted out to the various input hatches or input stocking buses and their colors, which are then kicked out to the vacuum lines, which are the colored lines below, which send them to their different apparatuses, ultimately sending them all to the main assembly matrix, puts it all together, and sends it back over here, where again it comes out the output buses. If anybody has any questions or is having problems with these, feel free to let me know below. I can show something in more detail if needed. Just let me know, or answer something if something's goofy. I did not get all of the things set up in here, but like you can see, I started to set it up for future proofing, but I just ran out of time. I had to drive home from work and all that jazz. So I am excited to have this again, because that means we finally have access to UMV circuits. I'd lost access with the update to 2.9. Now, with these, I think passively, or I should say on the side, I want to come back over here. I want to craft some more Dysons. Right now we're keeping up with power just fine. You can see I've got like the GUI is a little screwy on this computer. I haven't fixed it, but we got 4.482 over here. So I am in the plus, even though I'm using a bunch of wireless power. However, to start speeding up and get going, especially now that circuits are taken care of, at least the two I really needed to worry about, I want to start using a lot more power to speed things up. So I want to get the Dyson so I don't put myself in a bad spot. I think I want 2 more for the moment, because that'll put me at 1 trillion EU per tick, which would just be a cool milestone. But we'll see. With having the UIV component blocks, it should be substantially faster to craft those. It shouldn't be like a huge endeavor like before. Same with the circuits also being substantially faster as well. And then I will say, I'm going to try to set up one of these per day. We'll see how I feel each day, but each night I'm going to just craft out. Basically, when I leave or stop playing for the day, I'm going to craft the next one of these to set up the remaining 3. I've already like dug out the holes and stuff for these guys. You can see them forming on the map because, again, I don't normally play on this computer. So it's goofy. I forgot that corner is doing that. You can see, you can tell I copied from over here because it copied the shoreline. But the main circle was the thing I was worried about. I decided to set those up before I put the tower down. It just makes things a lot easier. So I think I'm going to do the crystal circuits next, and then from there I'll do BioWare, and then probably wetware last, because I use the wetware the least. But that's the goal. In the meantime, too, I also really need to get on crafting more of these so I can start passively making the space time to get internal. To start on top of that, I need to finish setting up those compact reactors out in the desert to keep the plasma mixers rolling, to be able to keep up with these passively crafting and all that fun stuff. I think that should be about it. I think one last kind of fun note to end on is that the best part of that nano complex and having those UIV component blocks is between that big old circuit room down there and this guy on here. I have so many UEV and UIV energy well, not so many UIV, but all these besides these 2 assembly lines right here are all good to tear down, and at least the circuit portion of them and our energy hatch portion of them. So that'll be really nice to just I can't remember how many I have. I accidentally blew up 3 UEV energy hatches in the rain earlier. But after setting all that stuff up over there, and mind you, I haven't crafted any UIV energy or any energy hatches today, and I set all that stuff up. Still have 23 left over here, plus all the stuff's ripe for the picking, and the circuit room down here shouldn't have anything crafting in it anymore. So all this stuff, all these energy hatches, these are all ripe for the taking as well. So that'll be exciting. But anyways, that's it for me today. I hope everybody had a good weekend, and I think I'm going to set up crafting. Oh, I forgot about these. Ooh, all the UIV energy hatches. So nice. Anyways, I'm going to get to crafting the next nano complex, and yeah, go from there. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Goodbye.